What's up, sourcing warriors? I hope you're having a great day. I am so excited to talk about today's subject, and that is Chinese New Year. To the 1.3 billion Chinese people, this holiday is the most important, the most elaborated, the most celebrated holiday. Lots of food, lots of gifts, lots of entertainment. But to you, the Amazon FBA seller, the small business owner, dealing with the Chinese New Year could be the pain in the butt. If you don't know how to plan inventory around the Chinese New Year, you might as well not to deal with the Chinese suppliers because the impact is huge. So today I'm gonna give you some expert advice on how to plan inventory around the Chinese New Year. Let's get started. If you're new to the channel, my name is Yuping Wang. I appreciate you checking in. If you appreciate the content, be sure to leave a comment and subscribe to the channel. This is the place to be if you wanted to learn the best sourcing knowledge. Let me begin by sharing a little background about the Chinese New Year. Chinese New Year never falls on the same day of our calendar because it follows a lunar calendar by observing the moon phases. The Chinese New Year's Day always start at the beginning of the new moon. So the Chinese New Year's Eve is always a dark night. The story goes that on this dark night, a fierce evil animal is going to come out and attack people. So Chinese people use a lot of fireworks to scare away this fierce animal, and that is called Nian. Crossing the Chinese New Year's Eve is called 过年. So if you take the Chinese New Year's Eve as the baseline for business, before the Chinese New Year's Eve, like 7 to 10 days, and after the Chinese New Year's Eve, and that is 10 to 15 days, and that is the entire break. After the Chinese New Year's Eve, people traditionally don't even work until the 15th day based on that lunar calendar, and that is the full moon. So for 2019, the Chinese New Year's Day falls on the Tuesday of February 5. Pause this video if you wanted to pull out a calendar and start to follow what I'm saying. I'm gonna do some quick math. So February 5 is the Chinese New Year's Day. If you subtract 10 days, you're gonna find January 26, and that's a Saturday. Realistic speaking, a lot of Chinese business are going to lose a lot of workers because these people from inland city, they need to go home to clean house, decorate the house, prepare food, and start to celebrate the Chinese New Year. And February 5 plus 10 to 15 days, you're gonna find February 18. That is a Monday. Most business will return business. So that is the 2 days you need to remember, January 26th being the last day and February 18th being the first day returning to work. What does that mean to you? For you to plan the inventory, this means you have to have your shipment ready before January 26th, not on January 26th, because nobody is going to take care of it. It's before January 26th. I strongly suggest you give 1 or 2 weeks buffer into this planning, meaning by January 10 to January 15 is the last dates you have your shipment produced, inspected, ready to be picked up. To take a step further, what does that mean for you to place the purchase order? If your supplier lead time is 30 days, I strongly suggest you add at least 10 days to your lead time, because the factories are going to be jammed by many people's orders and they're rushing to get the orders out. So if you wanted your order to be ready by January 10th to 15, and if you subtract 40 days from the finishing date, that means you need to get your purchase order in by December 1. That's the last day you need to give that order to your supplier in order for them to finish by January 10, in order for this shipment to be shipped out safe and sound before the Chinese New Year. Now you know when to put the purchase order in before Chinese New Year in order to get the shipment out before the Chinese New Year. That is December 1 to get the shipment out before January 26. Don't relax yet because you may have made a mistake. This is the critical part. Please pay attention, guys. Remember, there are 2 days. January 26 is the last day. Everybody is going to go home. And February 18 is the first day everybody is going to come back. Factory start the production. Assuming your supplier lead time is 30 days, if you put the new purchase order after the Chinese New Year on February 18th, the first day they return to work, your order most likely won't be ready until March 30th. Because most of the time after the Chinese New Year, the factory continue to run on a very jammed condition. So they are running on extended lead time. If your shipment is ready, finished by March 30th, that means your shipment is not going to arrive into Amazon warehouse until April 30, the first week of May. So what does that mean to you? If you own an Amazon FBA business, this means money. Because if you know after the Chinese New Year, your first shipment getting back to Amazon warehouse is not going to arrive until the end of April, first week of May, that means when you cut your purchase order on December 1 to your Chinese supplier, you need to commit more quantity in order to cover this long span of a lead time. It's going to have a lot of cash tied into this purchase order you cut in December, but running out of stock after the Chinese New Year, there's no way to backfill, there's no way to expedite. It could be even more costly to re-rank your product. I hope this is helpful, guys. If you run an Amazon FBA business, you know how critical this is because there's so much cash tied into the inventory. In the sourcing tool, I explain in much greater detail on how to do the inventory planning. This is just a quick video to give you some good advice on how to plan around the Chinese New Year. If you appreciate the content, leave a comment, subscribe the channel, and I appreciate your support. And I'll see you soon. Have a brilliant day.